Hi, welcome to This Week in Ames. I'm Susan Guiazda. On today's show, we check in with the Water Department. My guest today is Kris Evans, an environmental engineer with the Ames Water and Pollution Control. Kris, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Susan.
Well, it's been a while since we've seen you, and I know you've been very, very busy. First, tell me a little bit about your job as an environmental engineer.
Sure. As an environmental engineer for the Water and Pollution Control Department, it's my job to help out the department by managing our capital improvements projects and any other project that goes on at either the water treatment plant or the wastewater plant. That goes from working with external consultants who are doing design work for us or preparing reports to doing some reports and design work in-house. And so we have that ability to be able to troubleshoot. We've got the ability to create designs and put them out for bid. It's a pretty interesting job. Every day is a little different.
So very comprehensive approach to the projects. You have to really understand the system and how it works, but also detail-oriented.
Absolutely. Anything from looking at how to specify a small little part to dealing with cellular phone companies and putting antennas on our water towers, understanding the effects on structure, to working with heating and ventilation at our treatment facilities, making sure there's the proper equipment specified there.
Really have to have a broad background of information, a strong knowledge base to know all those different things. And with the cell towers, obviously the field is changing.
It absolutely is. And a lot of times we rely on the companies to provide us information and the documentation, and it's our job to review and make sure it seems thorough, it's complete, and that they've done their work. So I don't necessarily have to be an expert in everything, but you're right, looking at those details, making sure everything's been covered and looked into is an important part of the job.
Now you're located on the utility campus, which is sort of that dead end on Carroll and 5th Street. Is that
exactly,
correct?
right near Banshell Park.
And you've been there for a long time, as in the water plant has had a home there for decades, but we're looking at a move.
We are looking at a move. The water plant itself has been there since 1927, and we are currently in the process of building a new drinking water treatment plant, and with that, the administration group, which is the engineers, the director, the assistant director, will be moving with the plant.
So that new site is located on East 13th Street. I'm sure a lot of people recognize it as the site by the Harley-Davidson shop.
Correct. It's the former USDA research site. We were able to obtain the property, made for a great location. It was already government property, so we didn't take anything out of the tax base. And it's close enough to the existing facility, the existing treatment plant, that we're able to reuse some of the infrastructure. It made it a great location for us.
It also is a little bit hidden back there. There's a kind of wooded area, and it's a little bit off the road.
Correct. We are building on the north part of the property, so we're staying away from the very wooded area on the back side, but we are set back off the road just to preserve that natural environment. We're going to be putting in some gardens, some natural systems for stormwater management, and so there will be green area in front of the plant, and you'll likely see some of the building from 13th Street, but we're hoping to have it be a more natural looking site.
Well, absolutely. There's a lot of equipment going in and out of it now, so people clearly know something's going on. That new building, for the average resident of Ames, what will it mean for them?
Sure. It will mean a brand new, state-of-the-art, we're hoping to get LEED certified treatment facility. We're going to stick with the same type of treatment, so we really hope that our residents in Ames don't see a difference in their tap water, that they'll still see the same high quality, great tasting water that comes out.
And we know Ames residents love the taste, the smell, the look of Ames tap water. It really is excellent.
Absolutely, and that was a really important factor when we were going into design of the new plant, is we didn't want to change treatment technology because that would likely affect the taste and what we're used to. So we stuck with the same type of treatment. We're going to be a lime softening facility, just like we currently are, and it's just a little bit more modern facility. It's got some more automation than we have now. It's going to have more capacity, so we'll be able to accommodate growth in the community.
So interesting, the existing water treatment plant, you can just tell that it was sort of built in sections, and things aren't quite in alignment, obviously not handicapped accessible.
Absolutely.
There are some kind of antiquated processes in there. All that will be, through the use of technology, modernized, become more efficient. It'll really be an interesting process to watch that happen.
It will be great. So the current facility, just like you said, it started with the treatment facility in the center, and about every decade and a half added on components, and so it is kind of a conglomerated mess. The new treatment plant will have the water move in pretty much a straight line. It'll flow through the plant, and it will be all one level. It'll be easily accessible. We've also got the ability, we've kept in mind how we would want to expand it in the future, so we can preserve that sort of linear movement through the plant.
So the capacity of the existing plant is what?
Is right around 11 million gallons per day, and that would be where we would see something like that in the summer when it's warm. People are using a lot of water, irrigating, watering their lawns, things like that.
And we've had some really dry summers.
We have. Right now, I think the peak of record is around 9 million gallons a day. So we haven't quite reached that capacity, but you never want to be at capacity and then start your design process. This process has taken us about 7 years to get to this point where we're actually starting to build the treatment plant.
And the capacity of the new plant will be?
The capacity of the new plant will be 15 million gallons per day, and we've got plans, at least an idea of how we would expand to 20 and then to 25.
And we know that we live in a community where the university is growing, and we do supply water to the university.
Absolutely, we do. They're part of our system, and so as they see increased enrollment, increased growth, we'll be able to meet their needs as well as any needs of residents that move into the community, as well as any industry that may come in.
So again, being prepared for to meet existing need as well as future need.
Exactly.
Some other projects you have coming on board. I know you're always busy. There have been some improvements to the water and pollution control facility.
Sure.
There's been new disinfection.
Absolutely. So the water pollution control facility was brought online in 1989, and so it's just starting to reach the end of its useful life of a lot of equipment. A lot of things just need to be improved. We did build the new disinfection facility that was finished last summer. And right now we've got a lot of rehab projects going on, so we're making improvements to our digesters, which is part of the treatment process. They're putting in new mixing systems, hoping to make them a little more efficient. We've got some repainting projects, just some upgrade, upkeep things that after 25 years need a little TLC.
And people might not realize these facilities are not located near one another.
Exactly. Our treatment plant, like you mentioned, is right there on 5th Street near the power plant in Bandshell Park.
And we'll be moving to 13th Street.
And we'll be moving to 13th Street, but our water pollution control facility is outside the city limits, about 5 miles southeast of town. You can see it just barely if you know what you're looking for off of I-35.
Well, one final thing, as we get into the summer, we touched on this briefly about capacity. It's been a fairly wet spring.
Sure.
Things look very green right now, but as we get into July and August, sometimes you see things kind of getting brown. Talk to me a little bit about conservation.
Sure, conservation is really important. We understand that we all like our lawns, we like our flowers, but it's more about using your water wisely. If you do want to irrigate, your lawn only needs a small amount of water per week. You don't have to water it every day. We also don't need that lush green. It is okay for your lawn to go dormant and brown. It will come back. As far as plants, if you're watering them, it's best to water in the evening or early morning so you're not getting the heat of the day. And when you do water, if you want to use a watering can that you're collecting from, you're using water from, say, a rain barrel, that's great. If you are using your hose, just make sure the water is getting on the ground. It's not hitting sidewalks, it's not hitting driveways and getting into our storm sewers. That just isn't doing anyone any good.
You know, you see a lot of irrigation systems that seem like they're watering the sidewalk, and you see so much of that water running off, and it gets into the storm system. That just seems it does seem wasteful.
It is wasteful. There's really no reason our pavements don't need water and we don't need to send it. So if you're going to use it, just be smart. Check your sprinkler heads. Make sure that everything's spraying on your green plants.
Yeah. Rain barrel is another excellent idea. I got a rain barrel a few years ago. I was surprised at how long it lasts. A good rainfall, that rain barrel will stay full for several waterings, weeks of waterings
Yeah.
for my small garden.
Yeah, and we use it a lot. Actually, my 5-year-old likes to water with it, so that's a good source for him. But yeah, we have the same thing. We have 2 rain barrels. We actually have 1 rain barrel that is connected to a drip irrigation hose, and so as it fills up, it slowly then just goes out into our flower bed.
So it sort of brings that water somewhere else. That's a
Exactly.
great idea.
Yeah.
Other indoor conservation tips?
Some of the best things you can do are run full loads of dishes in your dishwasher, full loads of laundry, simple things like turning off the tap when you brush your teeth.
Watching those drips.
Exactly. Checking for leaks, making sure your toilet isn't slowly leaking. We have dye tabs available at the water plant if you
It's
want to
amazing
check.
how those things will add up. I had a
do.
dripping faucet and I just put a container under it just for a few minutes to see, well, really, is it a big deal? It is a big deal.
Yeah, you can usually fill a 5-gallon bucket pretty quickly, and that is an option, but it's better to just take care of those leaks and not have the water going down the drain.
Yeah. Well, we'll look forward to seeing progress on the water treatment plant this summer. What can we look for?
You've got lots of things that are going to happen. Most of the winter was spent putting in pipe underground, so there wasn't a lot to see. But as residents drive by now, there's a lot of dirt being moved. We were building up some work, doing some work in the lime ponds, hauling some dirt over there. There's a lime sludge building that they've poured the foundation. They're starting to work on walls. It's set back on the site, but I would bet that residents might be able to see that. The big exciting thing is they're going to be moving a tower crane out on site, so there will be a large crane towards 13th Street. People will start to see as they start to work on the main treatment building. They've got some of the basins excavated, so there's big holes in the ground. And I would say by summer, people are going to start to see an actual structure being constructed.
Very exciting.
Yeah, we're very
Well,
excited.
Kris, I know you're busy. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, Susan.
Just some events for your calendar. If you're looking for things to do, remember that May 11th is the start of Bike to Work Week. City Hall will be the site of a Bike to Work Week breakfast Monday, May 11th from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Stop by and get your breakfast. Also remember, if you're planning to go to Furman Aquatic Center this summer, those discounts on the Furman Aquatic Center summer passes will go away on May 16th. So you want to purchase your summer pass by May 15th to get those extra discounts. You can get more information on both of those projects on our website at cityofames.org. Well, that's our show for today. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for This Week in Ames.